Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to talk about the interview that Koeman did have, which I believe did take place yesterday. And the reason why I do want to talk about this is because Koeman did touch on a few topics that needs to be discussed in this video. Because what the media has been doing is that they have been pressing for answers. And if we really pay close attention to the media's questions and what they have been asking him ever since he has been appointed, all of them had to do with the individual player. Like for example, they said, okay, so what about Luis Suarez? What about De Jong? What about Griezmann? What about Piqué? What about Sergio Busquets? Those are the type of questions the media have been pressing Koeman to answer. It has never been, oh Koeman, how do you feel about joining Barcelona? What was your favorite memory with FC Barcelona? And so 90% of those questions that Koeman has received have been questions that is not supposed to be asked in public, but we're here. Koeman is the man on the hot seat. And so in this interview, I am going to point out 5 highlights that did stood out that needs to be talked about in this video. And it is just so interesting to hear what Koeman had to answer, because Koeman has been adapting extremely well to how the media has treated this coach so far. So starting with Schroeder, Koeman said, I knew him a little. I know how much influence he had in the 2018-2019 season with Ajax, and the players are extremely positive about him. He was in the assistance from Nagelsmann's too. He is full of ideas. The role he needs to fulfill is perfect for him. And so notice how he was fully aware that Ajax does speak great and is positive about Schroeder. And I think that that is a reason why Koeman did bring in Schroeder to Barcelona, because Koeman wants that leverage. He wants that leverage over Ajax. Because wouldn't you think that if Barcelona do attempt to go after Ajax and say, we want this player, wouldn't it be a great idea to have the coach that has coached Ajax in the 2018-19 season right next to you, just to have that leverage of bringing whatever player Barcelona do desire from that team? And so it does make perfect sense. Koeman is playing chess. Then the interviewer asked him, what about Frankie de Jong? Koeman said, I will play him on the same position as with Holland. I went to see a game of Barcelona and saw him playing at another position and thought, I would never do this. You invest so much in a player you spent so much money on, and you play him on a different position. And that is exactly what I want to hear. That is putting Barcelona, the club, in the area of shame. Because in the past recent months, we have heard these coaches and the assistants' philosophy of saying, look, he's world class. He knows how to adapt to any position. And that type of philosophy is not the type of philosophy Koeman does believe in. Because it's true, if you pay 100 million euros, you place him in the right position, you put him in the best position to succeed and get the maximum out of that player. And Koeman does believe that. And so moving on, he said, you have to play Frankie on the position where he has the efficiency that you expect from him. He showed that at Ajax. He showed that at Holland. And this is where we have to play him at Barcelona. He has to play in the role that suits him the best. And that almost makes you wonder, like, what type of formation is Koeman going to bring to Barcelona? Because if we are talking about putting De Jong in his best position, the position that he did play in was in a 4-2-3-1 with Ajax. And so since Koeman is so keen on bringing the best out of De Jong, could we possibly see a double pivot exist in Barcelona? Because if those are going to be the plans, right, and this is me just speculating, this is me not saying that this is going to be official, this is me speculating. If this is going to be the plan, which is going to be a 4-2-3-1, and you're planning on putting so much emphasis on certain players and putting them in the right position, that is what you call revolutionizing your team. That is what you call having a complete turnover in the club. And I'm happy to see that Koeman is putting these type of straightforward answers to the public. And so moving on to the next question, the interviewer asked him, okay, what about Griezmann? And Koeman said, the exact same story goes for Griezmann. With all due respect, but Griezmann is no winger. Griezmann has to play in the right position where he used to play, and that fits his qualities. As a coach, it all starts with playing your players on the right position. And that is what we have been wanting to see for so long. We want to see Griezmann play in the right position, and Koeman is well aware of that. And keep in mind, we have seen glimpses of Griezmann playing that number 9 role for this club. For example, in the match against Villarreal, we've seen how Griezmann put out that performance and how well he did play against that team. And so there is proof Griezmann does work as a number 9 in Barcelona, and Koeman does want to see more of that. And so look, obviously actions do speak louder than words. He could be saying this, and then by the start of next season, we can see De Jong play as a right back or Griezmann play as a left wing. But then if you are saying these type of things and you are giving these straightforward answers to the public, it would only make sense for Koeman to do that exact thing. And I'm going to give you guys the reason and some explanation on why I believe that Koeman is going to be taking these actions, being bold and putting these players in their positions. And I am going to do that later in this video. But let's talk about Lionel Messi first, because I believe what's going on with Messi is perfectly transitioning into why Koeman is saying this. So according to ESPN, and this is just in, Barcelona hope to convince Lionel Messi to stay at the club, but some members of the board wouldn't be against selling him in the right circumstances. And so Messi is convinced at the moment if he wants to stay at Barcelona. And if you guys are wondering, what does that mean by circumstances? It basically means that the board do want to see this team function well on the field before they can even consider letting go of Lionel Messi. And so Koeman does have a response on this situation, and he said this: Messi still has another year in his contract. Of course he is disappointed. I would be too if I lost A2. If he wouldn't be in this emotional state, then it would be worrying. I have to make sure that Messi is able to function well in this team and that he feels important. He is the captain of this club. He has to finish his career here. Messi is Barcelona and Barcelona is Messi. And so Koeman really does believe that Messi will stay. He knows that it is in his hands and in his responsibility that there needs to be a strong first season when that season does start in 15 to 18 days. And this is why I say, and I believe why Koeman is going to be placing these players in the right position, and why we shouldn't be thinking that actions do need to speak louder than words in this situation, is because, like I explained in my last video, if Messi sees that De Jong is flourishing in his natural position, that Puig is becoming an even better attacking midfielder, that Dembele is finally performing at the level that he should be performing at, and he's seeing Ansu Fati grow as one of the best left wingers in the world, do you not think that Messi will start to say, you know what, finally we're up to something, finally Barcelona is building something, and I'm finally starting to see these youth players put out something at the highest level of football, because then Messi will be willing to stay. That is Koeman banging 2 in 1. You put these players in the right position, you have them flourish, you get good results. You get good results, Messi will stay. So it is an absolute necessity to put these players in their best position, and we are going to see that. And it says here, according to Tot Costa, Messi's idea today is to continue competing at the highest level. He doesn't believe in the club's sporting project at the moment and is uncomfortable with President Bartomeu and would have preferred to have Xavi on the bench. And it's simple, right? It makes sense that Messi does want Xavi on the bench, and if Messi does want to have Xavi as the next coach of Barcelona, that even strengthens more of the idea of having Messi stay after the next season is over, because the elections do happen in 2021. So it would not make sense for Messi to leave as soon as Xavi and Victor Font does come in the summer of 2021. And so speaking about having Xavi and Victor Font manage Barcelona by next summer, the interviewer did speak on what he thought about what Font said about Xavi having and taking away the job of Ronald Koeman. And he said this: these kind of words are out of my control. I have a contract for 2 years. This is in my own hands and in the hands of the players. If things go well, I won't be sent home. The socios won't accept this. And Font did also say that he would be willing to have a position for Koeman after Xavi does take that manager role, which does spark some questions, right? Because let's just say that Victor Font is a man of his word, and he does say that he does want to have Koeman when he does take charge of Barcelona. If we are going to have Xavi and Koeman manage Barcelona simultaneously, are we going to see Xavi as the assistant coach and Koeman as the main manager, or are we going to see Xavi as the main manager and have Koeman as the assistant coach? And it does sound very appealing. It does sound very fantasy-like, and that is why I'm so surprised to hear that Victor Font is willing to have a position for Koeman when he does take over. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys see Koeman and Xavi take over Barcelona in the summer of 2021? And this is something that's going to be answered in time, right? This is not a question that could be answered by tomorrow. This is going to take about 10 to 11 months on what is the future of Barcelona's management in 2021. So that'll be it for today's Barcelona Daily News. I know there was a lot of speculations here, but a lot of things to look forward to. As of now, Koeman does see the right man for the job. I do hope that he does implement these type of strategies onto the field by next season. And so again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.